Good morning and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Monday, July the 10th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email to quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to during the pre-market session and then during the RTH trading session where we do live trading and market analysis. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so let's just take a look at the calendar for today's in terms of scheduled news. There's not much today. We've got the labor market conditions index month over month at 10 Eastern, and then we've got consumer credit at 3 o'clock Eastern. In terms of the schedule this week, again, tomorrow there's not a lot. There's Canadian housing starts, there's CB leading index, and then there's Schultz jobs and final wholesale. We do have Brainerd speaking, and then it starts to get busy on Wednesday. Wednesday we have Canadian Bank of Canada monetary policy and the bank rate, the over rate. Then we've got Fed Chair Yellen testifying at 10 a.m. And then we've got crude inventories at 11, at 10:30 I should say, and then 11:15 we've got Bank of Canada press conference, 10-year bond auction and beige book. And then on Thursday, we've got Yellen again, we've got unemployment claims, we've got PPI, so there's, we've got two FOMC members speaking, Evans and Brainerd, and then on Friday we've got CPI, core retail sales all at 8:30. We've got Kaplan speaking then, and then we've got University of Michigan consumer sentiment, inflation expectations with business inventories. So first part of the week, kind of light. Second part of the week, it gets a lot thicker in terms of scheduled news. We still have the G20 going on right now. We're getting a little bit of a breakdown here. We're making new lows in the Globex here. Taking a look at Friday, we had clear double distribution day. We spent a great deal of time inside of the prior day and then failed to break out and then came down. We basically closed at 22.25, which was the high from Thursday's RTH, but it was also one tick above the week open and the month open. The month open is 24.22, and currently we're right back down right where we started, beginning of last week. Clear double distribution, and this double distribution has a pretty wide LVN area between it, right from about 2075 down to 1775. So 2075 is going to be a very important area for us to hold. I'm going to be watching 20 and a quarter up to the 2075. Any break below that, I'm looking and I'm targeting that 1850 area, and then seeing if support comes in here at the 1775, 18 area. Basically we chopped around and then tried to break out and couldn't, and just basically fought the high the rest of the day. Taking a look at the overnight is basically pretty neutral. It's more net positive than it is negative, but we're seeing a bit of this rollover here. our high overnight is 29.75. We're making new lows as we go here. Don't know if that's going to be the low and we bounce from here. So hard to say while we're in this. But balance overnight is above us up at the 26.25. I doubt that's going to shift. We've got an LVN at the 24.50 area, and our high was all the way up at 29.25. Taking a step back, I always like to start my day looking at a simple candlestick chart with a 9 EMA, 20 SMA, looking for slope and separation where we are in the trend overall. Now, interesting to note that last month's low was 24.02 1/4, and so far we have a low of 24.05 1/4 for this month. So we're still holding on to this one-time framing on the monthly, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're in our 9th month of one-time framing up. So this trend is very strong. We don't even challenge the trend until we get into the 23.45 area. Going to the weekly, we ended up having a inside week last week. Our low 2 weeks ago, which was the low of the month, 24.02 1/4, and then of course last week, which is the low of the month so far, at 24.05 1/4. So we've dipped down and testing the trend, but we're holding it so far. But you can see that we are seeing a little bit of weakness coming in on the weekly. I think it's going to be critical on whether or not we hold that 24.02 1/4 the rest of this week. Going to the daily, we have, we talked about this rounding top on the daily. We did break down. We rallied on Friday, but we failed to hold above the 9 on the Friday, and then so far we've rallied up to the 20 on the overnight, and we're back below. So we have possible start of a downward trend on the daily. On the 4-hour, you can see that we've we were starting to get this downward trend, and then we've got the foo-bar Mr. Sneaky with the tech gap, and they rolled, they came up and closed that gap, and then they shot up on the Friday, and then we've got a little bit of a rollover happening here. We're coming down. We've got a naked cross that we put in earlier on the move up, and it looks like we're going to come down and take that out right. Something looks, I consider this almost taken out at this particular moment. But we are above the 9 and the 20, but definitely consolidation on the 4-hour. On the 1-hour, we had a nice trend up over the Friday RTH session, and for most part of the first half of the Globex, now we've rolled over or below the 9 and 20. We're going to leave a naked cross above us at 24.25, but we've got the possibility of a breakdown on the trend. We did leave a naked cross down here, and again, this is on a larger time frame, 1 hour, but we've got a naked cross down here at 24.1050. So keep an eye on that. If we stay below the 9 and the 20, that's going to be a target down there for us. Also happens to be the daily downside ATR target. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Our daily full session ATR is running at 1875, so off of the high of 29.25 overnight, our daily downside ATR target is actually 24.1050, which is right at this naked cross here. Going to the 30-minute, we are rolling over. We're getting slope and separation to the downside. Again, we've got this naked cross down here at 0950 on the 30-minute, and we're starting to get a downward trend here. Support is right here at this 24.21 area. If we break that, then there's not a lot holding us up right now. Going to the 15-minute, you can see same thing. We've got slope and separation. They tried to take it back and failed twice. and now we've got a definite start of a downward trend. We just took out a naked cross here. There isn't really one down there. Going to the 5-minute, you can see the same thing. We've got start of a downward trend. It is weakening. We're losing separation. We do have a little bit of a foobar, Mr. Sneaky here, but it's really not big tech gap, so I really wouldn't pay much attention. There is a naked cross above at the 25.75 area, and I don't think there's anything down below that we really have to be looking at. No. Well, there is a naked cross down here at 09. So that 09 to 010 area is going to be very important to us. Taking a look at the big structure, you can see that we're still inside of this balance area. Just a ton of balance. No real trend in either direction. We're starting to get a pretty sharp distribution down here, but value is still above up at the microcomposite VPOC at 35.50. One thing I want to point out is once we started coming down and testing this value area, I started another shorter time frame profile, and you can see that the microcomposite for the profile that runs from June the 27th through to Friday, the VPOC is right about where we're trading right now. It's 23, and the last 2 days, okay, matches that. The highest price traded in the last 2 days was right there again at the 23. So the 2-day microcomposite VPOC and the, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-day, the 2-day and the 10-day are right here around this, this 23 area, which also is, right around the month open. So we're, the bulls and the bears are fighting this month open, and we're getting some, high volume node build here around that 23. Key line in the sand above us right now is going to be this 25. Above that, look for that rotation back up into the 27, and then where we tried to hold value last at the 29.25. Likely to see some chop in this area. I'm looking for a rotational day. Typically, this is Mutual Mondays, they call it, and 7 out of the last 10 have been positive. So I am looking for a bit of a move back up. Of course, if we break the 1475, then I'm expecting a move down to that naked cross and down to the daily ATR down in the 10 and 11 area. So taking a look at the overnight numbers and moving them over, our overnight high is all the way up at 29.25, just one tick below this naked VPOC. We've got a naked close at the 27.75. Currently right now our low is 22, but it does look like it's, it's going to break a little bit lower. So we're sitting right on the month open. I'll put it in for now, but we're probably likely going to have to adjust this down. So our overnight low is our July low. It is a week low as well. We've got a double bottom there. Got a little bit of Mr. Sneaky though, so we see some buying coming in. Key area I'm watching right now is the 20.25. Of course, if we break below that, targeting the 18 to the 17. And then below the 17.75, if we do break, that's where the VPOC was for a good part of the day until we finally, put enough volume in to pull it up. So I'm going to be targeting that 16 area below that. The open of the RTH was 13.75 on Friday, but really you got to pay attention to this 12 area. There's this LVN at 24, but that's really not what I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching the 25 because that is where the CLVN is, and above that, targeting that naked cross. I'm actually going to target in front of it at the CHVN at 27 and a quarter, and then of course the overnight high and the naked VPOC at 29 and a quarter and 29.50. Resistance really doesn't come in until we get up into the 31.50. And then above that, it's all about going back up into the VPOC. Now, as I said, the daily ATR is running at 1875, so currently off of the low. And again, I'm probably going to have to adjust that. Our daily ATR has come down just slightly to 40.75. It's right near the key line in the sand above us. And then our downside daily ATR is not likely to change. That's going to stay at 1050, and below 1050 we've got the 25.05 and a quarter, which is the week low from last week and the month low so far. And then we've got to put in the June low, which was 22.02 and a quarter. Come on. Oh, I can't get this straight. Finally. All right, and then the 24.01 and a quarter, that is our key line in the sand below. We're going to be paying attention to the 1475 as the over-under line. All right, so in terms of hypotheses, we're going to put the overnight VPOC in too, so that's 26 and a quarter. So my main hypothesis is a open auction in range, in value. I'm looking for some selling down into this area, possibly down into the 16. Of course, I'm watching the 1475. I'm looking for responsive buyers to step in. And basically, I'm thinking we're going to spend a fair amount of time chopping in this area between the 22 and the 16 area as we fill in this LVN from the prior day and basically chop around the 22 area. So so I'm looking for continuation lower. We are just getting a little bit of a move down here. Then I'm looking for responsive buying, rotate us up, chop around here, find a base, and then push up into the 23, okay, and then try to break out and come up into the 26 area, and somewhere up here I'm looking for sellers to step back in, and I'm looking to come back in and settle somewhere in around the 22-23 area as hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction in range, a push up, take out the 23, push up into the 26 to the 27, maybe even up into the 29, then see responsive sellers come in and rotate us down into the low volume node, chop around in that area, try to get a push lower, and then buyers come in and close us back up into the 22. I'm really looking for a rotational day that either has a upward skew or a downward skew, but overall looking to close somewhere between the 17 and the 23 area. Hypo 3 is a open auction in range, failure to break out of the, get above that 25 area, see sellers come in, rotate us down into the 16 area, chop around in the 16 area, and then push through down towards that 8 to 10 area and close down lower, and see some weakness coming in. Hypo 4 is the opposite to that. Failure to break below the 16 area and rotate up into the 25, chop around the 25 to 23 area, and then break higher and push up and come up back into the 30s, possibly a late day push up into the 34, 35 area and come right back in balance. So those are my four main hypotheses, but overall Hypo 1 and Hypo 2 I think have the highest weight, and that we get a, a 10 to 13 point rotational day with either a skew up or a skew down, but basically closing somewhere in the middle. Going to gold, gold had major breakdown on Friday. I traded it terribly. I had a very bad day on Friday. But I got to work my way through that mess. And basically we're trading down here in the 9 to 10 area. We've dipped as low as 1204. I'm seeing some continued weakness here in gold, and likely to come down and test the 1200 and come and test this 98. The key to watch is whether or not we can get back above the 1730 area. We have made a pretty large move down. I mean, if you look at where we were with that, test up into almost the 1300, and now we're almost, 90 points down right now, $90 down on gold right now. So I think gold is going to catch a bid somewhere, but it certainly hasn't caught it yet. I thought we were finding balance here, and we we're going to start our way back up last week, but I was dead wrong on Friday, and the rebalancing. Balance is still above us at the 21 to 23, so if we do get above the 17 area, look for them to rotate back up into this balance, but I'm not looking for a lot of upside potential in gold today. Also, remember that the Russell is starting to trade on the CME as of today. They'll trade both on the CME and on ICE until next year. The symbol is RT. Is it RTY? I think it's RTY. Yeah, it's RTY is the symbol. Not going to be a ton of volume right now in the CME, so I wouldn't start to try to jump right into it, but it's going to be some opportunity. We did just make new lows, so I do have to make those adjustments down. We're continuing to see some weakness here. So 20 and a quarter now. So 20 and a quarter plus the 1875. So now our full session ATR comes down to the 39 area, and it's likely to even come down lower. So this will be adjusting down. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.